Alright, today we're going to print with paper stencils. Paper stencils can be cut out of newsprint, or I just use copier paper, and we are using that as our stencil today because it is like the easiest, simplest stencil that you can use for this process, our first process out. And so I have 3 different cut stencils ready to go. Some of them are a little bit more intricate than the others, and we'll print them in order. We'll put a color down first and drop on top. We've got a paper ready to go, our colors on the table here. I have a hinged piece of plastic, and I've actually, on a scrap sheet of paper of my same print paper size, I've done a 6x6 to kind of match the window that we're printing with today, 6x6 window. And the nice thing about the Mylar here is I wrote some of the information that is on these paper stencils, so I can use that to line up on my paper, and then we drop the screen and then we're ready to print. So just kind of a loose registration system for these paper stencils. And our starting place is, again, I had a scrap sheet of paper and I made it the same size as my print paper, and I put a little 6x6 lining so I could line it up underneath my screen, and I set up my registration. And when it comes time to doing the paper stencils, this allows me, this Mylar, to line it up with the Mylar where I want to see each color. And then when you have that lined up where you want it, you can now carefully, because it will want to move on you, the paper, and then now when I do this, I can load up the ink, and when I drop this and print it, that paper stencil will now bond to the back of your screen, and you can get your edition. Sometimes it's a small edition, anywhere between 10 to 20 prints. It might fall off. You might want to have a backup paper stencil, but for the most part, you'll learn from this process. All right, we have the paper stencil in place. We're going to add our ink. So now when we lay this thing down and we print on our print, it will hopefully pick up the stencil. And it has. Then a light flood stroke. And so this is just our tester, but you can see that the ink has been, it's done its job. Now we're moving on to the good paper. There we go, looks good. You can probably get about 10 to 20 prints out of this before things happen. They're not designed to last for heavy editions, but they're still fun to do. So I will clean out the screen and set up for my next color. So for cleanup, we can remove our stencil. Here's our stencil. I may say that just for fun. And we're going to remove our ink. And that's where I use mat board pieces to come in. I just basically sandwich them in and get it back into the container. Just reduces, just a quick way of cleanup. And then I'm going to sponge out thoroughly both sides. Make sure that you have all the ink out of your screen, and then we'll set up for the next stencil. So no need to unhinge because we want to keep our registration where it is. We are just going to work from this. And so we're going to clean out our screen without removing it from the hinges. So what I've done is I put back the beginning print that we were using as a guide. I put in a second stencil in, checked it, everything looks good. So now we're ready to print the next color, which will be a pink. All right, we're gonna print the next color, the pink color. So again, when we print, it should hold the stencil up for us. Now it's getting kind of fun. All right. Our last color on our last stencil.